It's week 1 of the NFL, and we've got a showdown in the Sunshine State. It's the Jags and the Dolphins. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready this morning. I could not wait to get here for this game. Imagine what it's like out there on the field for those players, though. OTAs, training camp, preseason, it's all led to this moment when they officially kick this one off to get the season underway.
Two teams on opposite ends of the Sunshine State. The Jags and Dolphins are underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Well, the Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023. Now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's coming off a great season where he put up career highs in yards and touchdowns, while also leading one of the most prolific scoring offenses in the NFL. The number one thing he did last season, though, staying healthy. When he's on the field, Miami can roll.
Now Tua going to fake the jet sweep and the handoff as he'll drop to throw it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to pass. Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And he goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 50. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 4. From midfield, here's Tua. That is caught. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. And he remains perfect on this opening drive. Charles now 5 of 5 and another first down to work with.
He's like one of those great shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence, and he doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game, and who's to say that it won't happen the way he's throwing it right now.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. In motion, Hill. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. They complete it to Hill. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So here come the Jaguars to take over for the first time behind Trevor Lawrence, their quarterback in season number 4.
Last year was a bit of a mixed bag for Lawrence as he started off looking like a budding superstar, but then he suffered an ankle injury and was a shell of himself the rest of the way. His team needs him to stay healthy if they plan on maximizing their full potential. And if that ends up being the case, they'll have a good shot to win a lot of games here in 2024.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's 3rd and 3. They'll run with Etienne. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
A solid run and maybe then some by Etienne, and he's become one of the league's best playmakers over these last couple of seasons, totaling over 1,400 yards from scrimmage in each of the last 2 campaigns.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, Fatu Melifonwu the one in coverage, and he breaks it up. 2nd and 10. Brown goes in motion left. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Lawrence. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. Here's Tua. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. On play action, here's Tua. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And Waddle going to have a Dolphins first down as he'll get this up to the 39. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Tua going to throw. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the Jags will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel get something down and punt the football.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And his throw here is incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. Here is 3rd and 5. From midfield now, Lawrence. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
And Chop Robinson coming out of Penn State, the numbers weren't necessarily there, but what you saw on tape, first step explosiveness, great suddenness with his movements, and disruption on each and every snap.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
Now Tua. Oh, and that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. Bigsby with a carry to begin the series. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Jags with a football to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, You can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Here's Lawrence. Able to get away. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's a pickup of 6.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In motion, the tight end. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Forced out to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And Waddle going to have a Dolphins first down as he'll get this down to the 40. Tua sets up to pass it. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. In motion, Hill. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
Well, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Lawrence running right on the option. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the 1st. Etienne up the middle. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Etienne once more. Stopped up shy of the 45 despite some pretty powerful running.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now this incomplete, and I don't see any flags coming out. He was clearly in the pocket, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, and that brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he couldn't get it to check. Kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They set up the screen. Achane has it. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Open man is Hill. He's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Jags going to go on offense now late in this 1st half. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. After the turnover, it's Tua. And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This a 33-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. Start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo, where you see the final score there. Josh Allen, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. From there, we move to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City to see what's going on with the Chiefs. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And maybe time for this offense to really hit the reset button. They were shut out in the first half, but still, they're right in this game.
They certainly are. What I like about it is that you actually continue to play. You just find a way to make a few plays yourself, and you noted it. Right there on the border in this game, they're not that far off. Just got to find a play or two, and they could be very happy at that point.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for ETN. No gain on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Lawrence. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And it's nice to see Phillips back on the field again after his year was cut short by an Achilles injury a season ago. Well, it's nice for us to see him. Quarterbacks, they may have a different opinion.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. Here's Achane to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Second and a couple. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Open man, Westbrook-Ikhine. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up second down. Play action, now it's Tua. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On second down, Etienne once more. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Lawrence will throw. Being chased out left. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new, it worked there. They go play action now, Lawrence. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. On the counter, Etienne. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Miami's offense set and ready to go. And now they are in prime position, first and goal after the interception and return. They'll look to make it pay off for 6 points. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
That right there makes up for that missed extra point they had after the first score.
Yeah, they went ahead and got back to level by going for 2 and having the normal amount of points, so that works out pretty well for them. And if you're the kicker, don't worry about it too much. Now they've got back to where they want to be, he'll trot out there for the next one.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 the score as they regroup with 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Another run by Bigsby. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Here's Lawrence to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. From the gun, it's Tua. To the sideline and incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little when Tua gets out of the pocket, but there he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
Here's Tua. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. Tua going to throw. A short one here, secured by the tight end Waller. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
In motion, Hill. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
And the former first overall pick really came into his own a season ago. That's what the Jaguars envisioned. Double-digit sacks for the first time in his career. He gets another one here.
On play action, here's Tua. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
What a sequence there defensively. You get the sack to move him to 3rd and long. Then here, just nothing available. And he's got to throw it away.
Now Tua. Short throw going to be caught by Waller.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. In motion is Westbrook-Ikhine. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Jaguars are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
A give to ETN running right.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Miami. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the 4th.
On first down, right back to ETN. He'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
He completes it to Hunter. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
Oh, he stays up. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now Lawrence. Looking long for Thomas. Well, that's the third interception for Lawrence. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
The Dolphins offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped them there, but not to be. In motion comes the tight end left. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Now right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Up the middle, Achane. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The former first-round pick, Eric Armstead, the one who got in there to make that play.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down. And a solid run down inside the 30. 52 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to pass. Tua. Throw caught by Achane. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Antonio Johnson makes the stop. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Achane. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
He finds his man, complete. It's Hunter.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Lawrence.
He finds his man, complete. That's Hunter. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
Achane here, they stay on the ground.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard.
They'll go. Achane.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
A give, running right, Achane.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
From the 23, here's a 2nd and 7. A run straight ahead with Achane. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
They'll run for it with Achane.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Lawrence.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Lawrence. And that's complete ETN out of the backfield.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
From midfield now, Lawrence.
He finds his man, complete. That's Hunter. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
A final shot now for Lawrence.
1 last shot at the end zone. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Dolphins, you can't ask for a better start as they pitch a shutout here in the opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.